My next question is, I believe, for Cathy. And Cathy, we'd like you to tell us about the medical simulation that you've developed. What's special about it, and why, in your opinion, is it important?
Well, I think the most significant approach to the design of this was to bring together a team that was confident that the impossible was possible. It's not enough for the design and the implementation team to have an extensive knowledge of Second Life and the Linden scripting language. The MUVErs team had a strong belief and commitment to the vision and to each other, and creativity that bordered on the edge of genius and insanity, and because that's where true innovation occurs. But to create the key features and the functions, we had to make a mini OS within SL, complete with its own API, GUI, and window switching. And we call the system the MUVErs User Interface, or MUI for short. And our initial application of the MUI is to create medical simulations, but the MUI can be used as the base system for simulation training of any kind and for other interactive purposes in Second Life. But with the MUI, all objects can become interactive. And go to the next slide, please. A medical dispenser, for instance, has drawers of medication that may be selected, applied to the patient, and affects the vitals and the condition of the patient. And this can be done with very minimal skills. Gone are the note cards, multiple choice, and choose your own adventure type formats that we've previously seen. And there's also a relay that allows other avatars to view your MUI screen. Next slide, please. As you make treatment decisions similar in function to remote desktop sharing. You may also use the relay to view the MUI screen decision of other avatars for assessment, to help them, or to work together as a team. It also records all object interactions and decision making and stores it in a searchable website database. The MUI can be a scripted event, such as a medical scenario that unfolds over a specified time period, and the patient's progression and outcome is affected by the user's decisions. But our favorite, and we think the best application using the MUI system for creating patient role plays for major medical systems such as cardiovascular, respiratory, neurological, endocrine, and there's more, is to do that using all these features and functions that I've been describing, with the added bonus of being able to create and customize the patient info, the patient itself, the medical orders, and create unlimited scenarios and events. And right now, that next development and what we're doing has us the most excited.
Well, I have to say, I saw this demonstrated at NEC just this past June, and I was completely blown away. I had known about the simulation and had read about it, and certainly I knew all of you guys were working together. But until I actually saw the thing in operation on that interactive whiteboard in the lounge, and how you were simulating the treatment of the patient, it really was just fascinating. And at that time I was like, we absolutely have to get these people onto the show to talk about what they're doing together. It's that special. So absolutely outstanding work. I have a question for John. And that one is, John, what research has been done into use of these simulations and their effectiveness as training environments?
Yeah, basically, I think there are several small studies being done currently. I'm not doing one at this moment. So, in terms of the medical, actually more general kinds of training simulations in Second Life. I only teach about 10% of my class using the Second Life at all, and then even less than that percent with the patient simulations. But anecdotally, after training about 300 students in my RN nursing program, students are positive once they get over the Second Life learning curve, and we try to minimize that. Just focus in on what's needed with our training, a specialized training setup that we have for the program. The students, if we're in a face-to-face lab on campus, a computer lab, students are there before the class if they're able to be, and they're already logged in. and after the class is over, they're still logged in. So it really shows the engagement, I think, of the students. I'm teaching the same material. I'm just using a different delivery system, and I just can't remember back when I started teaching, which was a long time ago. We had overheads, and I can't remember anybody doing research on overheads. I can't remember anybody doing research on PowerPoints, and I've used those, and I've just recently gotten out of using those. I still use a little voiceover PowerPoint, lots of web links, and some games in between the slides. But other than that, I can hardly stand PowerPoints. So I didn't really see research on that. But anecdotally, students have positive comments. They certainly have some negative comments if they stray off the island or something like that and wind up getting lost. But once they figure out the simulation setup and they practice that, I usually have students working in groups, and I let the stronger students actually do the simulation, and the rest can actually just communicate and help make decisions. And so I think the effect of this training has really been seen, and as we're turning out more and more and better products, I think we're going to see satisfaction improving even more. And finally, when you're training somebody to take care of someone and to make critical decisions about life or death, really what you want to do is you want to be able to get them closer to that patient setting. And in the campus, in the labs where we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on computerized mannequins, they've already done research, and research is showing better performance in a job setting. This is the same thing here, so except it's less expensive and it's more flexible. And so I think the only thing you can really do is you need to apply, and put students in situations that they can critically think and work their way out of with a good outcome for the patient.
Awesome. Just out of curiosity, did you say you know how much those mannequin-based systems cost to develop or implement?
Yeah, I mean, last I looked, it was $70,000 per computerized mannequin. And then, of course, you have the setup costs, and then you have staffing, and you have ongoing yearly costs. So, it's well over $100,000 easily.
Yeah, 6 figures easily.
And you usually have 3 or 4 of those, and some schools have more. And so, this is, the system we've come up with, it will be well below that in the, because if a college has several $100,000, $500,000 involved, I know we have $500,000 in mannequins right now in my school. So it's easy to, and that's not the ongoing yearly cost. So.
Wow.